Hi there, YouTubers and wannabe website designers. This is what I call the core concept of website design. It's what I call pre-thought. It's about thinking first before you actually go full swing into building a website. We've all seen it. There's millions of websites out there that have either been left to rot, no one's looking after them anymore. In essence, it's a website graveyard out there because people have just not thought about what they want to do with a website. They've not thought about the www plus one, the why, the who, the what, and the plus one, which is when. These are cornerstone thinking concepts of any website designing and building, and it's just something that I find people just do not do. People do not pick up a piece of paper and start writing about why they want to do it. Who are they targeting? What do they want to achieve? And when are they going to publish the website? They don't think of these concepts. So just to give a little video tutorial about these concepts in a little bit more detail, but what I would say is go to the website, have a look at them, have a read through them, and that way you can just take your time and it's written down. I find things are easier to understand when they're written down as well, rather than when someone's talking to me about them. And of course, it's not something that I can show on a tutorial video like this, so I don't want to bore you too much by reading too much into them. But again, go to the website and find out. But the first is the why. Why do you want to build a website in the first place? It's, something that you might sit there thinking, what is he on about? What does he mean why? It's obvious why I want to build it, but actually it's not. Have you thought about why you're doing it in the first place? Because that's where people fall down. Are you wanting to do it because you want to earn money? Because I can tell you now, you're going to fail. A lot of people build websites, and when I say fail, I mean in the short run. A lot of people build websites with the aim of earning quick cash. It never works, or it might work for a few select people for a very short period of time, but your website gets taken down, it gets de-indexed, it just doesn't bring in the visitors that you want it to do. So if that's your core idea, then you really do need to think about what you're doing with your website design in the first place, because in the long run, it's going to fail. So the why is something that you really, really need to think about in detail, and you need to start looking at the skills that you need to build on that as well. So before you even start building your website, you need to start thinking of the www plus one. Next up is who. Who exactly are you aiming your website at? Again, you might think this is obvious. You're going to sit there and go, well, it's obviously to the whole world. It's to the local group in my neighborhood. It's to the country I live in. It's to people that are shopping. But who exactly is it? If you're targeting to everyone, it's obviously not going to work in that way because not everyone is going to want to visit your website. You really need to think about the people you're aiming your website at. So, for instance, this website, the Web2Nation.com website, is just a basic website. I say it's basic in that it's not got a lot of information on there. You can see there's no videos on it. Not yet, anyway. There's not a lot of information on the main homepage, and you can go straight through and see the menus here, and you can see who exactly the site is aimed at. Who? It's aimed at people that want to learn about website building. That's why you're watching this YouTube video now, I hope. And that's why you're thinking about going to look at the website and looking at these www plus ones in more detail. It's you that it's aimed at. It's the person that I'm wanting to focus on that wants to learn about website design and SEO in more detail. That's it. You are the core person. You are the individual or the group of people around the world, because I'm not an electrician working in my country, so I'm not building an electrician website and focusing on my neighborhood. It literally is for you out there to come and look at. So that is the who. The next is the what. What is it you're wanting to get from the website? What is it you want others to get from your website? For instance, with this website at web2nation.com, it's to share the tools, the information, to give you that understanding, or at least to share what I understand about website building and design. And yes, it's not complex. There'll be people out there saying, well, this is, not in enough detail. This is not giving me enough tutorials about what I want to learn, but this is my understanding that I'm sharing with you. That's what I want to get out of the website. It is focused on that. That's key, the focus. What is it trying to do? It's getting you to try and come to the website and interact with the website, to look at the links on here, to look at the lessons on here, and to kind of give your input as well. What I try and say about this website is it's not mine. I don't see it as mine because it's always changing. It's a live website. So when you come on here and look at it and you read it and you comment, I take that on board. If you want to see something else on here, then I'll look at that, I'll change it. So the what is really important. So an example would be the website design fact. So I go in here, I have a look, I see what people are commenting down there. You can see it's a new site, as I've mentioned many times, so no one's commenting. But what I want to do, or what I want you to do, is to comment in here. Is there any other questions you've got? Is there something that you need to know that's not answered in the website that you think that other people are going to find interesting and important too? Because it's about you sharing your thoughts and ideas as a new website designer, or as a novice, or even advanced website designer. But it's geared at just making sure that you are able to give your comments. Those comments are taken on board and it's added to the website as a whole. So that is the what. What do I want you to get out of it? Well, that's obvious. I want you to start learning about website design in more detail. I want you to have the confidence to grow in your website skills and design skills at that. I want you to start thinking about this WWW plus one in more detail and the pre-thought about what you're actually going to do with your website before you jump in. And trust me, it really helps to have everything written down, to have that focus. And it is really, really boring at first, but it's going to really help you in the long run. So we've covered the three W's there, the WWW, the why, the who, and the what. So what is the when? The when is something that people really don't ask. The when is something that when you read all these different tutorial websites or you go to YouTube and you have a look at what people are doing, they don't really talk about the when. The when is really important to me. The when is about all the information you've got, the planning that you're doing, that pre-thought that you've got before you actually build the website. Again, it's the boring things. It's the things that people don't bother to do, and that's why people fail. So what I'm saying to you is if you want to succeed, you think about the why, the who, the what, and then you think about the when. When are you going to release it to the world? When do you want people to start looking at your website? When it's in its bare bones? When there's nothing on here? So, for instance, if we take this website now, it's built. If I showed it you right at the beginning, there was nothing on it at all. It was boring. And yeah, okay, it's not the most interesting website ever, but it does what I want it to do, as I mentioned with a what earlier. It's geared around simplicity. When did I release it? Well, I put on some pages, I wrote some content, and I started looking at the YouTube pages and the Twitter page and the LinkedIn page and so on. I started looking at all the ideas that I had before and then trying to implement them onto the website before I released that. Because imagine me saying to you now, right, go to the website, have a look, and you just see a homepage. So the when for me would not have worked. I would have released it too soon. You would have gone on the website, possibly. You would have looked at the website and then you would have gone. So from a web design point of view, the when is really, really important. And we'll go into indexing and Google research and development in more detail in later lessons as you work through the lessons. Because as you can see, there's going to be the first lessons with the basics, then there's going to be novice lessons and advanced. And you can subscribe and see these as I write them, as I change them, as I adapt them to what you want to see as well. But we're going to be looking later at indexing in Google and Bing. But the when part is also about when you want Google and Bing and the other search engines, if many exist out there anymore, if you want them to start looking at your website straight away. Because that's the key thing as well. When you build a website, when you put it onto the internet, people get really upset when it's not indexed, when they can't see anything, when they don't get visitors, when no one's commenting, as on my site now. No one's commenting, no one's seen the website. If you're on the website now, or if indeed you're watching this YouTube video, you're one of the first people to do so. So when you're thinking about releasing your website, you need to think about that as well, that you're not going to get upset that no one's commenting, that no one's really found your website. In fact, it's nowhere to be seen at all. You've got to imagine that what you're doing is for the long run. So when you release the website, you've got to get ready for that. Anyway, in a nutshell, that's the WW plus one, www plus one, I should say. And like I say, you can go onto the website and get much more information about it and just click on the first lesson link. And hopefully I'll be uploading more videos soon with the rest of the lessons. But like I said, I'm just taking this slowly at first so you can start to get introduced to website designing and building. And I hope that as the videos kind of progress in that way, then so will the things that I add to here. So I don't want to jump too far ahead on putting content on. As you can see, there's only 2 lessons on here, and the next video that I'll be releasing is about domain names. So it's slow steps. It's not rushing in, and if you want to rush in, fine, go ahead. But I can tell you now, a lot of the people that do that, and many of the experts out there will agree with me, I hope, but a lot of the people that go out there, build a website, pop it on, don't think about the why, who, what, and when, and fail. So don't be one of those people. Try and be one of the people that succeed and do it a step at a time, because even if it doesn't work for your first website or your second, it will eventually work and you will get something that you're actually proud of and that you want others to see and to share as well. So I hope that's been really useful. And again, sorry if it's too boring for you out there that just want to get on with your website, but this is what my site is about. It's about taking things easy and slowly and you being proud and succeeding with something that you've achieved. Anyway, I'll see you later in the second lesson.